Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the JJT podcast, our first one after our Thanksgiving break. I am your host, Kevin Bradley, joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Kevin Gallagher. And today we've got an amazing guest, a fellow resident of the Garden State, continuing the Jersey Jitsu theme that we started with Jay. And I'm going to get right into him immediately following a brief shout out to sponsors of the show, your friends and ours. No judges needed. Your one-stop shop for all of your grappling apparel needs. I'm talking rash guards, fight shorts, gis, modeled by the incredibly beautiful Mr. Kevin Gallagher. These guys do a lot to help people out in the community. They've got an incredibly good list of fighters repping the brand. But you're looking at the prices on all this great swag and thinking, man, COVID's hitting me in the dick a little bit. I can't afford any of this. We're here to help. Use the promo code JJT at checkout to knock 20% off all purchases in perpetuity. Get something for the inquisitive grappler in your life this holiday season. I know they will appreciate it. And thanks again to No Judges Needed for sponsoring us. We won't let you guys down. All right. Ad read over. Today, we welcome a fellow member of Studio 84, much like Mr. Jay Regalbuto, the last guest of the show. Incredibly up-and-coming grappler. He's just recently competed in Brazil. Huge success there. Massive win on the Fight to Win stage, their last show in Philadelphia. And all around, just a beautiful-looking guy. This guy's bone structure is immaculate. Like, some people are going to harvest him for genetic material someday. So please join us in welcoming to the show Mr. Steve Joachim. Steve, Mr. Captain America, thank you so much for coming to stop by, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Well, I just got to ask, how's life treating you? You know, we're coming into the second wave, and I know you got a gym full of killers. So how have you guys been treating the outbreak this holiday season?
We do what we have to, but COVID's fake. So,
and that's it. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. That was a quick episode of Jiu-Jitsu Time.
No, I it's totally real, but at the same time, I'm doing jiu-jitsu no matter what.
Yeah. I just got over COVID. This is like my first week back. I was out for 2 weeks with it. It's not fake, but it ain't like Yeah. I mean, it's bad. I could see if you're compromised or older. I get that. And, I guess everybody affects it differently, but it knocked me down, hurt me pretty bad. It was a weird kind of sickness, but I feel okay now. I'm tired still, but I'm ready to go. Let's get the shit over with.
Nicky Rod got it. Well, he said he thought he had it, and he was still benching 400 pounds or something. So it can't be that bad.
Wait. Only 400? Man, it's taking his pound of flesh for sure.
He's kind of soft. Like, those are like those anchor arms from SpongeBob. That's what he's got on.
Oh boy,
that's great.
I had a feeling with the jerseyness of today's episodes, the trash talk would flow pretty quickly. So. But you get a lot of FaceTime with former guest of the show, Mr. Nick Rodriguez. How's he been, aside from potentially getting COVID? How's he been?
He's been great, man. He's still murdering me and everybody else in the rooms. He's training more than anybody else. Like, he's gonna make a dent this next ADCC for sure.
Man, it definitely, we're going to see a lot of aggressive takedowns from Mr. Nick Rodriguez. And I got it, but based on I actually got the chance last time I was visiting Studio 84 to see his brother, Jay, for the first time. And I got to say, that kid is, if he keeps growing, it's going to be a wash. That's going to be a problem.
They move exactly the same. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like, their sweep singles, like the way they just move their shoulders when they're wrestling, but it's just the exact same thing, and it gives me PTSD to his brother dropping me on my head. So then
I'm follow Nikki on Instagram, as sure half the world does too, but like at least the grappling world does. But I always see videos. I mean, we were laughing with Jay about it when we had him on last week. I always see videos of him and his brother like wrestling at the beach, and it's just they look like little clones of each other. He's like a skinnier, not that much skinnier, but like a little bit skinnier version of Nikki, and they do the same outside sweeps, and it's the same like pick him up into the single leg. They're like it's fun to watch the brothers go at it. They go at it pretty hard when they train with one another too, right? They're like typical brothers would be.
Yeah, Nick kind of bullies him, to be honest.
Yeah, he's his big brother. He's going to keep doing that for a while until he figures out you don't have to let him do that no more.
Well, dude, little Jay Rodriguez, he's been training with us for 7 weeks consistently.
So there's 3 brothers.
I think he has a sister. I don't know if there's
my bad.
It's just,
my bad. Sorry, go ahead.
But so he's been training 7 weeks, and black belts are coming into the gym, and he's getting to their backs, like good competitors that I'm not going to name.
Yeah, right.
He's on their back. Like I blink, and he's on their backs.
Yeah. You guys got some good studs up there, man. John Combs just started training with you guys. He's a good body to have in the room, man. He's just a tough guy.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, he is. He really is. He is. Like I keep talking. He keeps blowing me off. Eventually, I'm gonna get him on the damn podcast. But he's a total.
I got the chance to roll with Mr. Combs last time I was in Studio 84, and which is like when John Combs says, "Hey man, you want to flow?" You're like the fear you feel like when you're a know nothing schlub like me is kind of intense. And the whole time he was just letting me work, and I felt like I was the ball of yarn that gets fucked around by the cat.
His flow is like most people's 100%. Like he's a machine.
I was going 112%. Like I was pulling out shit that I didn't even know I had, and he was just like, "Hey, do I have to breathe yet?"
He's got good jits. I've rolled with him a couple times, man.
He doesn't get tired.
He doesn't.
I've never seen him breathe heavy.
No, I talk about that a lot. He's one of those guys that like when you roll with him, there's like a steady, consistent pressure that you never really let off, and before you know it, like you're exhausted, and he's still like the little turtle that doesn't quit. You know what I mean? Like he just goes and goes and goes, and when you're done, like when you've got like a minute left in the round, you're like, holy shit! Like, why am I so tired? He's just like sucked the life out of me. How am I not able to give up with him? But he's super good, man. That guillotine is wicked. His guillotine is insane, nasty. He just goes for it and goes for it and goes for it.
Yeah, no, he is a totally different style for me. So I go out to my matches just to submit somebody because I get tired.
Right.
So like that's why I want the submission. People are like, well, points matter. I'm like, yeah, that shit gets you tired, bro. You ever shot a double leg and lost it? Like you're done for a little bit. I just sit down.
I think this would be a good chance to shout out that recently John, it was announced that he's going to be having a match on the Third Coast Grappling stage against a very game opponent. Do you think? Hang on, I just had a total brain fart just because I looked at him and I remembered all like how bad he made me feel about my jiu-jitsu and my whole life.
just had
like a flashback. I'm just like, oh shit! Like this is the guy that just submitted me 18 times in 30 seconds. And I feel like this picture could submit me as well.
It's not a great picture of him, by the way. That's not the best look for him. He's a
handsome guy.
A little rough. He's a goofy bastard, but he's a better looking goofy bastard than that picture.
Yeah. He's no Steve J, but he's
not at
funny.
All.
On the other side of it, that is an incredibly flattering picture of Pedro Marino. Like,
right?
He's not that good looking of a dude.
He's ugly as hell.
I can't believe we've managed to insult both of these guys in very different ways.
We'll never see them again. They're super tiny too, so you ain't got to worry about them that much.
Yeah, John's not going to see this, right?
Nah,
I hope not.
Right, cool.
Probably no one's going to see this kid. I don't want to break your heart, but my mom's watching. That's about where it is.
Oh, okay. Shout out, Mrs. Gallagher. You're the #1 fan of the show. We love you. Hope you're doing well. Oh man, so yeah, it's obvious that you're training with some of the highest level guys, and you've had a lot of incredible success very recently. but I would love for our listeners to be able to get a fuller view of how you came into jiu-jitsu. So what was your pathway like? Like, how'd you first start choking people for fun?
Yeah, so I played football my whole life. Like,
no shit, really? You played football? The most jock-looking motherfucker we've ever had on this show.
6'3", 220 from Jersey. You played football? No way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it one bit.
No.
It's either like it's football, but if like you live in Jersey, but you weigh like 180, you played lacrosse. It was either one of those two.
I may have played a little lax back in the day too.
Oh, fucking course you did.
Yeah. Dude, anything that could get you a girl, I was trying to play that.
So now you do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the ultimate chick magnet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
no. Girls just think I'm gay now.
Yeah,
when I try and explain what I do, like, right. Oh, you like dudes.
Oh, boy.
So, I played football forever, and then I had a tumor that was malignant in my left leg, so I got like radiation and everything on that. So I got really fat for like a year, and my buddy Chris Lewis, who's a black belt under Alex Quintella, which is a gym in PA. Dragged me to practice, and man, I haven't missed more than like 3 days in a row since.
Dang, how many years ago was this?
Coming up on 3, like around 2.5, a little bit, maybe a little bit more.
Wow,
2.5 years.
I really wish I could say the same. I wish I could say I've been that consistent, man. But that's really impressive. It was first practice caught the bug.
When did you start? When did you start training with Jay?
About when I was 1.5 years in. So we've been training with each other for a little bit over a year, and I sucked, dude.
You're blue belt now, or you?
You're purple belt.
Purple belt.
Just got your purple belt. Just gave me my purple belt after I choked somebody in like 25 seconds at fight to win.
Nice. That's cool, man. So like Jay has an ability, and it's odd. We talked about this on his last podcast. Like he has this rare ability to take talent and push them to the next level of competing at a very accelerated rate. Like it's because, like, I see talented athletes come into the gym all the time. It doesn't necessarily equate all the time into talented competitors, to be able to understand the complex format that is jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't care how talented athletically you are, like, to be able to go in to take that and transfer it over against someone of equal athleticism, close to equal athleticism and size, that knows the nuances of jiu-jitsu, and have to be able to compete on that level is difficult to do. And Jay has a special, unique talent at doing that. What are some of the things you think make him so good at that?
One, like, everyone likes Jay, so you don't want. I've never told Jay no. I think I've told him no like twice, and I was wrong both those times.
Right.
Like, so you always want to listen to the guy, and also he takes out a lot of the things that in jiu-jitsu that can kind of come back and bite you in competition. Like when we go for like someone's back, and then you go for an arm bar off it, you're losing position. We really don't. We don't like doing stuff like that. We'll control the back and just try and break their face. And then if we don't, we get up and restart. Like, he really just makes it so small. What we have to focus on are the things that all the high level competitors are doing right now. So that
Go ahead. Sorry, kid.
No, go.
Yeah, he talked a lot about that when we had him on the show. Like, I'm just curious to talk to someone that was actually training with him to see how it translates into their brain, because as someone that watches hours and hours of jiu-jitsu every day, like it's my entire life, and I watch competitive jiu-jitsu all the time, and I also understand the levels of jiu-jitsu in a very dynamic way, in the same way that Jay does. Jay's been doing jiu-jitsu longer than I have, and he has watched literally eons and eons of competitive jiu-jitsu, from a coaching standpoint, a commentating standpoint, all kind of different areas. And what we start to notice after you watch after you watch the entirety of it, and you kind of break down what's effective and what's not effective, is like there's a very small window of techniques that really start to become effective at the absolute highest levels. Now, you need to know all the little intricacies here and there just to kind of not get caught up in those traps and be able to move on. That's the rule of thumb anymore. But like, he has found a way to take guys like yourself and focus on those things that are proven to be effective at the highest levels consistently year in and year out, and make it to where you guys are aware enough of the traps that can happen, the leg locks and the intricate barambolos and all the other, yada, yada, yada stuff, but take your unique athleticism and focus on the things that are actually working and make them function for you guys. He's one of the best I've ever seen at it,
Yeah, he a big thing he does is, in training, we're put in bad positions the entire time. Like, that's what we focus on more than anything. But in competition, we never settle for anything. Like me, I'm a guard puller, and I will get to my guard no matter what, because I don't think any of the bums around here can really pass my guard.
Right.
Especially everyone's in Puerto Rico.
I like that. In Puerto Rico now, all the good guys are in Puerto Rico, so you're like you're the new king of the castle.
Again,
Exactly.
I got it. We were talking about this very briefly, but you got a smaller guy at Studio 84. He was also on the Fight to Win card, and I don't know, he was looking at you like he's got your number. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I don't know. He looked like he could take you to school a little bit.
I don't remember his name either. We usually just call him Rest Round at the gym. No, my little brother Justin Pack, man, he's a tough kid. We all bully him, but man, he's talented. He's been training maybe a year longer than me. I don't know why he sucks still, but he's gonna be something someday for sure. He's tougher than me by far.
Oh man, I think every gym has that one guy who, for some reason, just gets a lot of flack, but like is maybe the younger dude, and then but it like inevitably in 5 years or like in 2 days they'll just be beating the shit out of you like nobody's business. I'm speaking from me. I don't know if the animal has been bred that could like take you down yet. So
probably not. No.
Probably not.
When you talk about, obviously, I'm sure you've done your share of points matches and your share of, sub-only matches, and I'm sure you have aspirations for ADCC and all the other things that are coming up. I mean, if you train at that gym, that's kind of the course. You guys are there to take on the biggest events. Do you, when you talk about being a guard puller by trade, do you focus at all on wrestling in those terms, simply because obviously, when you're doing a submission only match, wrestling doesn't really matter. If you want to go to guard, like, go ahead, take me down. The only reason I ask is because you mentioned the idea of not allowing anything. You know what I mean? Not taking, not giving up on anything, not giving away anything like that. I call it being a bitch. You know what I mean? If you're gonna don't let nothing happen, be a bitch. If somebody pass your guard, don't be a bitch. Don't let them pass your guard. If you take down, just be a bitch. That's it. Frustrate people. Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Training wise, I wrestle all the time, and it doesn't go well for me most of the time. I seek out some of the best wrestlers, and we're in New Jersey, man. Like, those guys are on a different level. So I'm usually getting tossed around the gym. I make sure to stand when there's a good wrestler in the room, unless they start like jawing at me, then I heel hook them. But other than that,
that's great, man. I'm just curious about that, because from a strategical point of view, obviously if you're a guard puller, you're a guard puller. But the question of being is do you like to accept the takedown, or is there something that you're going to fight for to not let happen, simply because you're cool with going to your guard and all those other things? You just want to get on your butt and start playing that guard game?
Yeah, I have a couple takedowns I really like. Like, if I get to those positions, I'm gonna drop them on their head. But accepting points, like especially ADCC, now I'm definitely gonna get, if I get to my guard with using the rules, great. But I'm down to wrestle with anybody too. Yeah.
That's probably a stupid question. I don't know where I was fucking going with it, but I was just making the connection between the not wanting to give things up. I was just curious about the wrestling question.
Yeah, I don't really have a choice if I'm allowed to wrestle. Like, especially when Nick's around, people don't want to wrestle with him. So usually I have to go at him for like 3 rounds in a row.
You just feel a big hand come on your shoulder and go, "Hey, Steve."
No, I'll have a partner all set to go for the wrestling rounds, and he'll come. He came up to me, this was like a week ago. He's like, "We're gonna have to go again." I'm literally like, "Why?" Like, There's guys going ADCC right over there. Said they told me no.
Yeah, you're just not. That's funny. He's like he's like dragging a club behind him or something like that. No one wants to wrestle with me.
Well, no, a lot of people. No, I'm fine with getting beat up in practice. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. So I'll take a round with someone anytime. I don't really. My rule is I don't say no to any rounds. Like that's a big thing Jay says. Like, listen, you're not allowed to sit out rounds if you want to win these things, and you gotta never say no.
Yeah,
it's kind of an ego thing.
That's true. When talking to Jay, and again, it's interesting because I love Jay too. I've hung out with Jay a couple times. I've met him down here in Tampa. I've had him on a couple of my other podcasts 2 or 3 times. We had him on the Jiu-Jitsu. He's one of my favorite guys in Jiu-Jitsu. I just love talking to him. Like, and just like you said, like he's one of those guys. Like, I don't think anyone's
just ever
a likable
dude.
No one's ever said a bad word about Jay. And when you couple that with the knowledge that he has and the respect that he has from his athletes, like it's easy to see why he's as effective as he is, because people not only respect his word, but they like him and they want to be inspired by him because like it's fucking Jay, man. You know?
Yeah.
All that toughness
that guy says.
Time. Yeah, that toughness is big time. He instills that in people, and part of it's because he's got tough guys in the room, but he's got guys in there that listen to him and pay attention and respect him. That's the golden triangle, man.
I think.
Yeah, man. He's always thinking.
Yeah.
He's a very cerebral sounding guy, especially having talked to him for as long as we did. And by the end of that episode, I got the feeling that we could keep this going for another hour or two and get a lot of good info out of him. But a big thing that I would love to get your opinion on is his stance on ignoring certain things. Like you brought it up earlier that he skips certain things that will trip you up later in competition, like going for the armbar from the back. But there's also a lot of aspects that he thinks are unimportant for the people that are going for that high level competition. Like how often are you going to see these chokes or these this type of sweep? And so he goes straight to the nuggets. As one of his students, is there any part of you that feels like you missed out on some of that early jiu-jitsu, like that juvenile jiu-jitsu like level, and the fact that you just got straight mainlined into like the competitive competition scene? Like, does that make sense? Kind of what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that other shit's fake, man.
That's a good answer, man.
I started with I did have like a year and a half of normal jiu-jitsu training. Like I trained in the gi more than anything my first year and a half. And then I came to Jay. I've been working with him for a year. I was a blue belt with a OK Kimura back then. Now I'm tapping out black belts every day at practice. So whatever he's saying is working for me.
I think that's like a lot of people are kind of waking up to that too. Like the way we teach jiu-jitsu is starting to change a lot to reflect what works, you know? And I just think it's really cool to see that happening here.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with learning that stuff. Like if you'll get so good at that one move, it'll become something you can just hit on anybody, but I haven't seen it too often.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, no matter what people want to say, like, you know, when you see things that are effective at the highest level, yeah, of course, guys do. You know, Garry Tonon's a classic example of that. Like he's doing things that other dudes just aren't even thinking about. You know, he's like a wizard out there. But like, he is what you call the exception, not the rule. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the classic example is somebody like Marcelo Garcia. People talk about Marcelo Garcia. When you talk about that same scenario, Marcelo Garcia always talks about how he never used to lift, he never did anything, and he, you know, dedicated all his time to being on the mats. Well, that's good for Marcelo Garcia, but the reality of it is I don't think that that's something that, you know, most people that want to be competitive at the next levels, particularly now in modern jiu-jitsu, you can't just be good at jiu-jitsu. You have to be a next level athlete. You have to be strong, explosive, and all the other things that require working out. So, you know, when you talk about, you know, what's functioning and what works, like there's a small list of techniques that like you see at these highest levels that are actually working and functioning and making it appropriate. You know, they're making it worthwhile and working at the highest levels. And Jay, he's told me straight out. He's told me before, like, that's what I teach. I teach, my guys, they don't start from their knees. They're hardly ever on their knees. They're always standing up. They're always knee slice passing through. They're working for takedowns. They're working to take the back. Or when they're on the back, they're not looking for sweeps. They're looking for leg locks because sweeps just don't work anymore.
Bro, sweeps don't work anymore. It's ridiculous. I miss them.
You look at and it's the facts. The facts are facts, particularly when you're talking about the point structure that he's talking about. Everything he's talking about is ADCC. When you watch the ADCC, you can look at the stats. It's right out there for you. Look at the number of sweeps that have actually been finished in an ADCC. I guarantee you, it's the percentages are super, super low because you have to pin somebody to the ground, hold them there for 3 seconds during a huge scramble, and it's next to impossible to do that against a fully resisting opponent. It's just not going to happen. So why waste time on things like that aren't going to function for you at the highest levels if you want to be a competitor?
Yeah. In training, it's different, man, because you'll hit a sweep like 90% of the way, and the person will be like, oh, I'll play my guard now. You go with somebody that ADCC level, they'll just say, nah, I'm all right, and they'll start standing up and resetting. Yeah,
that's the truth. That's and that's where you kind of get into. That's where when we had Jay on last time, he said, like, I tell my guys, hey, if you want to go take another class here and you train in those levels and they teach those things, you want to take an AM class or an intro class, or you want to work on other aspects of your game, go ahead, that's fine. But when you come to the competition class and we're gearing towards competitive jiu-jitsu, we're not going to waste time on that because it's not what's effective right now in the highest levels.
Yeah. Totally.
One thing that I loved was that he was just like, do you know how many submissions you kill just by standing up? And like he got annoyed that so often people make jiu-jitsu more complicated. And he's just like just stand out of there. Like, no, nothing's keeping you there. You're there for no reason. And I thought it spoke to a guy who's very pragmatic, and you kind of want one of those guys as your coach. And we're going to definitely talk more about that as the podcast goes on. But there's a name came up just now that you have a bit of a unique relationship with. Garry Tonon, one of the legends of the sport, one of the champions of the modern age of jiu-jitsu, innovator, much beloved figure in the culture. And for according to a lot of people, a very nice guy. And Steve, you've met Garry. So I would love to hear about your guys' relationship.
Let me start by saying Gary's my favorite grappler of all time. And he was from the beginning. I watched his match with Husamar Palhares and I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be like that guy. But now I've met with him. I've trained with him. I've been in the same room with him multiple times. And he just refuses to talk to me. He just refuses.
Maybe we can fix it. Maybe, it probably won't fix it, but maybe we'll fix it today. We'll run this clip.
Yeah,
won't Garry talk to me?
Yeah, no, but you talked about the first moment you met him, and you said it was bad from it was like bad news from the start. So like, he just wouldn't talk to you.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that like hurt my feelings, like he's my hero, so it really did. It hurt. It hurt a lot. We were at this tournament, Sogi Invitational, and it was Jay, me, Justin packed the rest round, and then my leg lock coach Luke Nasir were all on the wall. And Gary's known Jay and Luke for a very long time, so obviously he came up to say hi to them. Justin's a loser. Garry says hi to him, and then I'm sitting in the corner, and I look up. I go, he shakes all their hands. And then I look up and I go, hey, Garry. I know he knows my face at least. And he goes, sup? I'm like, crush me. I'm still hurt by it. I got my tear up. And the worst part is, I'm friends with all his students too. So it just makes no sense to me at this point.
I'll tell you that, like, as someone that has met Garry before, like a couple of times, he's definitely a very minimalistic person in those regards. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's because he's shy. I don't know if it's because he doesn't really like, maybe, he's focused on other things or whatever. But I've met him and I've seen other people that have met him, and he's very like, oh yeah, hey, very quickly in passing, kind of on the way out. But here's a note to people that are of the world, that are, you know, they're known commodities, like your words hurt. So like that 2 seconds that you could put your arm around someone and say, hey man, you're all cool. Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Cool, you're a good kid. Blah 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 blah. Like that could make the difference to poor Steve's life, and he won't have this whole dated memory of you.
If you see Steve on the street, be nice to him.
Just be nice to him. Say hey.
Because every day he's got to wrestle with the fact that Garry doesn't like him, and that hurts. Have you ever,
you know
like,
what, though?
Yeah.
I made him laugh at Henzo's, so
there you go.
Maybe it's getting better.
See that I would take that like to the next level, because like I said, he's like, if you act, and it's someone, again, it's a black belt, you know what I mean? I've been at the gym and like whatever. I'm not trying to equate myself to Garry Tonon in any way, shape, or form, but like at the gym, like there a lot, like I compete a lot, like the guys there love me, you know what I mean? Like I have this kind of aura around me, and I will tell you that like a lot of times, like everybody wants to say hey to me. Everybody wants, you know, and that's sometimes like I got shit going on, I'm busy, so I kind of like acknowledge, and sometimes I just don't really give a shit, to tell you the truth. But if I have at least acknowledged you with my eyesight and given you a thumbs up or a smile, take that, take that far. Yeah. that means that like you're human to me. So I've looked in your direction. So, you know, and again, if you're talking to someone like Garry, who's, you know, obviously focused on his MMA career and all the other amazing things he's doing, like I think that went a lot farther than you might have meant it to.
Dude, I cried that day. It was in the middle of practice. I went to the bathroom and teared up.
Yeah. Steve, we're gonna edit that out just for you. I don't want.
No. People love a man with emotional depth. All right, 2020. Damn it. I gotta ask though, just with how close the whole like squad is, like with the like the DDS guys, the Northeastern Henzo guys as a whole, is everyone like kind of aware of this weird thing that Garry just doesn't like you, and B, like, does Nicky Rod ever try and like help? Like, hey, Garry, Steve made you this like finger painting.
No. No.
You made him like a Valentine.
Okay, so I think we gotta move on. But Steve, I'm gonna give you a few moments here. Imagine you're talking to Garry, you know, like reach out to him. What do you want to say to him?
Just be my friend, man. That's it. Nah, I've been his fan for years. He's never been mean to me. I would like a hug.
just a minute. Just be like, hey man, sick heel hook, Steve. Good job. Hey man, I saw your fight to win. Nice match, kid. See, that's it. Then you move on. Even if you didn't see the shit, just fucking say it. You know, they get the fuck. You don't know.
Yeah. No, everyone's telling me like, good job. What was that armbar? Gary's sitting in the corner, be like, that was a shitty fucking armbar. I know
he was. Garry, you could just. One thing I will agree with you is Garry is probably the most exciting grappler on the planet.
100%.
There's no one I enjoy watching compete more than Garry freaking Tonon, and he's amazing.
Garry, if you could like one post on Steve's Instagram just to let him know, like, no hard feelings.
Garry, I did have cancer, bro. Come on, this is that's my Make-A-Wish wish.
That's rough. That's rough.
Pulling out the cancer card.
100%. For Garry Tonon, yes.
Holy shit. Okay. I think that is a really good sort of dovetail to maybe talk about one of the bigger issues, or one of the biggest events in grappling right now, which is the mass exodus of the whole DDS squad. You know, John Danaher, Gordon Ryan, Ethan Krellenston, Nicky Ryan. They're all moving to Puerto Rico, starting a new gym, like new big compound. And I think for us, like here in the Northeast, it's really jarring just because there's such a big part of the culture up here. But you're a guy who actually takes some time to go up to New York every now and again, train with them fairly consistently. How is this feeling for you, you know, that everyone's moving on?
I'm pretty bummed out. I'm friends with a handful of those guys. so it's less friends around. They're the highest level guys in the world. The best.
Are you really friends with them though, Steve? Or no,
yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to bring it back after. Are you really friends? I'm sorry.
Like,
that was on me. Continue with your story. I didn't mean to bring it back up again.
All right, Nicky Rod's like a good acquaintance of mine. That's about it.
We're gonna get a message from Guy that's just like, hey, I don't know what you did to Steve, but he cries like 20 minutes every day now.
He quit jiu-jitsu, guys. Seriously, what's going on here?
He's doing Aikido now. Like, what the hell did you guys do? Fix him. And then I gotta go fix him.
No, those guys, they're so much better than everybody. I've trained with a lot of high level guys, and they're just so much better than everybody. Like every aspect of it. Like I roll with Craig Jones the other day, and everyone knows him like this guard guy, dude. Everywhere he's just a threat. Like these guys are getting better every single day because they work with John, they work with each other in that room, and just a few weeks to maybe like 2 months of going there consistently, I got a lot better. Me and Rest Round are gonna fly down there, and we're gonna go to Puerto Rico every month or so as soon as quarantine kind of calms down.
Oh man, it's got to be kind of exciting though. You know, it feels like a big change, but I feel like the biggest hit to up here is probably Danaher. You know, just losing that ready resource.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So that but. Do you think that this exodus will allow like new faces to kind of crop up in and around like New York? You know, like now that there's a big vacancy.
Yeah, probably just me.
Just you. Okay, yeah. No. Yeah. I meant this was me saying like, is this the time for Steve J to take over the tri-state area? Like, yeah, probably, right?
Yeah. I mean, I talk better than everybody else. I look better, man. This is my time. My jiu-jitsu's all right, but I'm handsome, so it makes up for it.
Do you know anything about I mean, I'm sure they're going to be fine. I'm sure they have tons of talent that have been involved with John Danaher's system in the Blue Basin for a long time to take over up there. But do you know anything about who's taking over, who's going to be some of the new coaches, who's going to be some of the new guys running the show up there when John's gone?
And now I'm not really sure who's going to be running stuff, but man, there's so many people that like the jiu-jitsu world doesn't know that are just savages that go to that school. And they literally have been studying from John for years. There's this one guy, Brian Glick. Dude, he literally knows John's stuff inside and out. He could teach it easily. Like it's not as much of a technical thing as it is. John's just such a big name. It got a lot of big guys to want to come in to train there, but they have John's number. What's the worst that's going to happen? They ask him a question.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I always think about just, when you think about guys that have really, revolutionized the jiu-jitsu world and changed the game, it's very rare that you see someone that really has that much of an impact that quickly. And like John Danaher, if for someone that I can't think of someone, Eddie Bravo comes to name too, just in terms of his influence on the game, his ability to build the 10th planet system up and build up, something that comes from that. But when you think about a non-Brazilian name in the modern world and someone that has had that much of a stamp and put out that many incredible freaking combative freaking athletes, Gordon Ryan, Eddie Cummings, the list goes on and on and on, Nicky Rodriguez, it's amazing. I don't think there's anyone but John Danaher that even comes to mind,
Yeah, dude, he's the man. He's great at making people just monsters.
Yeah, I trained with him once or twice. I've met him once or twice. I never really trained with him. I remember I was funny enough. I was actually at the Blue Basement rolling with Gary one time, Garry Tonon one time.
Lucky.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We talked. We chatted a little bit.
Yeah, and afterwards, Gary gave Kevin his personal business card and said, you need anything, man, I'm there. I'll get tested to see if I can donate organs to you.
A balloon and a stuffed animal, for the ride home.
and then they just talk shit about how much they hate Steve together.
But the point is that the one of the coolest moments in my jiu-jitsu career. I always think back at this. Like I almost caught, like, I had a cool guillotine on Garry, and like John Danaher literally said, "Nice job, Kevin," and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like John Danaher just spoke my name, like gave me a compliment on a cool transition into a front headlock position. I just thought it was super cool. But he's super cool, man. Like, it's in his mind, his ability to break things down. And I think more than anything, it's just his ability. Like, he's just such an intelligent person. He has such an understanding, and someone that's, you know, a genius. The guy's a philosophy, you know, I think he's got a doctorate of philosophy, master's or doctorate from Columbia University.
He's got some fancy piece of paper. Like,
yeah,
I don't know which one it is.
But to dedicate someone that intelligent to dedicate their entire life to something as involved as jiu-jitsu is, you know, it's pretty impressive, and you guys are very lucky to have that.
Hey, Steve, kind of out there question, but did you go to college?
Yeah, he's a genius, man.
Steve, are you there? Or you're breaking up a little bit.
Like maybe 20, 30 credits away.
Hey, Steve, could you are you can you hear me?
Yeah,
I think he froze. Yeah, he might have froze. I'm just gonna.
You Jersey boys and your shitty internet connections.
I mean, like, it's like we all we have one modem. We have one modem we all share.
Yeah, right. Something
both
about
both of us being on at the same time is slowing the internet down for the whole state.
Yeah, right. Nobody can watch the Jersey Shore reruns or the Sopranos is kicking everybody off.
Hey, the fucking Giants game.
Hey, the fucking Giants game. You guys get off your stupid fucking podcast.
No one gives a shit. All right. Hey, Steve, you still there?
Yeah, is that any better?
That's a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a little better. We could be.
We can work with that. Yeah,
we'll work with that for the end here. Fuck was I saying? Yeah, I was wondering. Are you in college right now?
I just got done the police academy a few months ago. So.
Oh shit! You're gonna be a cop.
Oh man.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I mean, like weed's legal now, so you know.
You would definitely look good in the uniform, kid. You think you're getting what do you think you're getting gay for pay hits on your Instagram page now? Wait till you start wearing that cop uniform around. Oh my god, you'll be on somebody's poster.
You're gonna look like no offense, like all due respect in the world, because you could beat the shit out of me and you're a nice guy, but you'll straight up. I'm always gonna think, is this guy a cop or is he like a bachelorette party stripper that he's on his way to a gig?
I'm good with both, man.
I mean, pay's probably pretty good either way. So what's it like, you know, what's it like going for an active career while you're competing at such a high level? Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties on Stevie J's end forced us to cut this episode a little bit short. As you know, me and him are the only guys in Jersey with internet. So both of us being on at the same time slowed everything down for everybody. We got a call from Governor Murphy to stop.
People in the South Shore need to watch The Sopranos.
Oh boy, let's just. I think this is a really good, accurate way to end our Jersey streak of guests for a little bit. But like you can catch Steve and a few other members of Studio 84 at American Nationals. This upcoming American Nationals. Happening soon. It'll be a barn burner with a bunch of good talent. But this is another great welcome back episode from our little hiatus to allow Mr. Kevin Gallagher to rest up from COVID. And for our viewers, how are you feeling right now?
I feel good, man. Like yesterday was the first day I went back to training, teaching private lessons. You know, I'm weak. I'm not going to lie. You know, COVID was not that cool. Like, I'm not saying, luckily I'm in pretty good shape, but I'm a little bit older. I'm 43 years old. So like it kind of wasn't too nice to me. I never lost my sense of smell. Never lost my sense of taste. I got pretty run down. I had a fever for a few days. And then like for the rest of the remaining like week and a half, I just felt just gross. Like, it's weird. It's an odd sickness. I wasn't really like what you would typically consider to be sick from like a flu, but I had ridiculously creepy body aches, and I got vertigo a few times and dizzy standing up, and just all I wanted to do was sleep. And I was very nauseous a lot, but it's getting better. I feel okay now. I'm obviously cleared to go back to training, so I started training again. The tiredness comes from out of nowhere, like just doing this podcast. All of a sudden, I just felt like just a wave of exhaustion roll over me. But I'm good. I'm training again. I'm keeping going. I think I might do the Fight to Win December 12th. So we'll see how that works out. So.
All right. Well, I definitely can't miss that card for sure. All right. Well, I think that's a really good episode in the bag. And a great note to end on is, take this disease seriously, everybody. Yeah. If it can take down Kev G for a little bit, you are at risk.
I will tell everyone right now, right out the gate before we cut it, Kev, is like, yes, are you going to die from this? Maybe not. But I tell you what, you possibly could. This was a very odd disease that I had. It was a very odd virus. I'm still not cool with the fact that it's still lingering. It concerns me a little bit, and I definitely do not wish it on anyone. So please don't go the route of just saying we're all going to get sick anyway. Let's just run its course, because it almost killed Hodger Gracie, and if you can kill Hodger Gracie, that's pretty bad.
I think a good rule of thumb is that you're almost never as tough as you think you are when it comes to a disease. When it comes
so
to
many things
sickness.
are unknown about this. It does so many different things to so many different people. Everybody has different varying degrees of what's the word?
Susceptibility.
Vulnerability. Vulnerabilities. It's bad. I don't really like it. I'm not really happy about it. Protect yourself, guys. Be careful.
Yeah, absolutely 100%. And I think that's a really good note to end on, is we're possibly entering the second wave. A lot of people, Thanksgiving was tamped down, but there was some spreading of the disease because people are traveling across the country. So the best thing you can do is monitor your health, look for resources, and just keep your head on a swivel, gang. We're trying to make it through this. But that is the end of this episode of the Jiu-Jitsu Times podcast. I've been your host, Kevin Bradley, joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Kevin Gallagher. Stay safe, stay healthy, and protect your necks. And happy holidays, everyone. December, Christmas. We're almost through 2020. We're almost through.
Almost.
Oh, God.
One more month till self-destruct.
It's
get through this damn December. Better go fast.
We're going the distance, everybody. It's 12th round. We just got to hang in there, man.
It's got to get better in 2001. It just can't get any worse. I'm going to knock on wood because I hate saying that, but I got to believe that.
All right. Well, again, be careful. We love you. And good night, everyone.